Hare Krishna, Namaste, Chapter 18, which is entitled as Sannyasa Yoga. Sloka 16, Part 2. Tatraivaṁ sati kartāram ātmānaṁ kevalaṁ tuyah paśyaty akṛta-buddhitvān na sa paśyati durmatiḥ. Therefore, one who thinks himself the only doer, not considering the 5 factors, is certainly not very intelligent and cannot see things as they are. In the previous session, we ended with the question: whatever action that we perform is actually done by the Lord, but He doesn't do it on His own choice. Here in this part, let's address how that He is not doing things on His own, or in other words, on what basis He does things. Let's see the answer. If He does everything on His own choice, then why in the world we see people differently? We all are so different from each other. Here we are not talking about the appearance of people. We are talking about the individual nature, their life qualities, lifestyle, etc. If all was done by His choice, God's choice, then He would made sure every single Jivatma does only good things. And also very easily He could have made everyone to be His devotees, surrendered souls. And for sure, He will never let anyone to do anything bad at all. Everyone in this material world would be shining like Vaikuntha-vasis, the people from Vaikunta, with no faults. Everyone understands that they are Atmas. Everyone understands they are subservient of the Supreme Lord. Everyone in Sattva Guna. Also, the Lord could have made everyone free of karmas, which He could have done very easily. That means this Leela Vibhuti, this material world, should not be existing. Why? Because the Lord has all auspicious good qualities. He will not do anything evil to us. Therefore, if He is doing things on His own choice, then naturally none of us should be existing here in this world. In other words, the world, this Leela Vibhuti, should not be existing. All of us should be in Nitya Vibhuti, in the spiritual world, serving the Lord. But we are seeing that is not the case. We are still here, and there are unlimited Jivatmas are still taking repeated births. That includes us. Is it not clear from this that the Lord is not doing things on His choice? Is it still not clear that the Lord is not triggering or influencing us on His choice? Now comes the question, what is the triggering factor that makes the Lord to do the way things are happening right now in certain ways? Yes, it is that well-known factor, which is individual karmas. He certainly makes sure that each living entity's experience the result of their previous karmas. The Lord mercifully sequences out the karmas of the Jivatma in a way that the sequence helps the Jivatma to be corrected in its life to turn towards Him gradually. Let's understand this. When a person starts experiencing his karma, the vasana of that karma gets generated. Along with that, the previous karma that was performed, with the vasana, we will be put into certain modes, meaning based on our karma vasana, one of the 3 gunas will be prominent in us, either Sattva Guna, Rajoguna or Tamoguna, by which we develop a ruchi. So this modes, 3 modes, and the ruchi that happened due to my vasana makes me to do the same thing again in my next birth. But when I do, I'm doing it as if I'm doing for the first time. In this program, the Lord does not interfere. He simply sanctions that these things takes place. The reason is that He wants the Jivatma to rectify the mistakes himself and learn the truth and turn towards Him voluntarily. He doesn't want to force anyone to love Him if they don't wish to. Then what is the point of He giving us the free will if He has to take control of even that free will? That is why great devotees who are fully surrendered, they beg and pray to the Lord, I myself don't know how to make right choices. My Lord, please, You decide for me what is right and what is bad. If You leave it to me, I will certainly misuse my free will. This is called complete surrender. We also have this understanding as devotees. We also sometimes pray like this, but our activities doesn't match with our prayers. We still hold on to the idea that I am the doer. I make right choices. My decisions are correct. I know better than anyone. But nevertheless, the Lord certainly makes several arrangements and attempts so the Jivatma can correct its own behavior and rectify its mistakes and come to Him. We learned about this, how He does in the previous sessions. Our karma vasanas are so strong, the Lord let it go as it is. But certainly, the compassionate Lord inserts some good things in our lives out of His causeless mercy, by which we get little clarity from our wrong understandings and start developing some knowledge, and then bhakti, gradually moving towards Krishna, finally begging for His help to save us, considering and fully understanding that He is the only person who can save us, not anyone else. Nor do I have any skills or any good credits to save myself. When we come to this stage of understanding, where we are fully dependent on Krishna, then the Lord takes over. He takes full in charge of us to make sure that we leave this world and go back to His abode. None of these things could happen without the causeless mercy of the Lord. Let's understand this. Now we have some little knowledge. We have been hearing Bhagavad Gita for some time. We have been associating with the devotees for some time. Also, we are in a listening mode from right source. Take some good advices from our mentors. How did we get this? Is it simply because of our pious deeds, good karmas that we have done in many of our previous lives? By performing good karmas on our own, we got this very rare opportunity of being a human, not as dogs or cats, where our knowledge will be restricted only towards eating, sleeping, mating and defending. If we are born as a dog or cat, we will not be able to learn and gain any of these spiritual knowledge. Also, there are many people who are born as human, and also there are many people who does read the scriptures, like Bhagavad Gita for example, but still not having faith in God or in what they read. So it is not just being born as human makes everyone to become devotees, makes everyone just because they are born as human to believe in the scriptures. But out of so many, there are some who gain knowledge and develop faith in the scriptures and God. And to be noted, we are one among them. How did we get to this stage? Is it out of our own effort that we are here where we are? At one point of time, no one cared for you. No one knows you. You are just somewhere wandering. Now, people are calling you as Prabhu, Prabhuji. How did you come to this stage? Is that because I studied a lot compared to others? I heard a lot from many people? Or is it because I am in certain position in the society? It appears to me that it's all because of my hard work that I've come to this stage. But the bitter truth is not at all. It's not at all possible that I take the credit that because of the good karmas that I've done, I've taken birth as human and gained this knowledge. Therefore, it's my effort by which I did good karmas and gained this position is not a right understanding. Why? Because when I compare to bad karmas and good karmas of mine, it is quite obvious the good karmas is going to be insignificant compared to the bad karmas that I would have done in my previous lives or even in this life. My good karmas, if at all I have done anything, would be a size of mustard seed, whereas my bad karmas are to the size of a largest mountain that we all know of. Therefore, the stage I am in now certainly can't be of my own effort. It must be through someone's interference that I am what I am right now. I am taking myself as an example, but this is applicable to each one of us. Unless someone has interfered in our life, we would not be what we are. That someone whom we are talking is not our father, mother, husband, wife, children, etc. Because they will be gone and we will also be gone from them. They only have a very little visibility of our life. They only know us during this lifetime. No one has any clue what I was before, where I was before, and who I was before. That someone who interferes and modify our life in such a way it is favorable towards Krishna consciousness is Krishna himself. He does that simply out of compassion towards us through his causeless mercy. Causeless mercy means there is no cause, but he still does a favor for us. Unless and until I help someone, the other person is not going to help me. That is based on cause, there is an effect. But in Krishna's case, he is showing his mercy towards us even though we have done no cause for his mercy, therefore causeless mercy. Why he has to do this? Because of his compassion, because we are his children, because we are his property, we are his lost property. As an owner, he is trying to claim back his property. He takes every step to see that we gradually and slowly progress towards him by correcting us in many ways. And of course, for Him to bring us to this stage of we even using our senses in His service, it would have taken many lifetimes. Not His lifetime, our lifetimes. Why? Because we are not an easy people to work with. We have very strong attachment to many things, and our karma and vasana are so deep rooted. Killing the demons is not a hard job. Creating the world is not a hard job. Destruction of this creation is not a hard job. But change our heart is the hardest job of all the jobs that the Lord does. Of course, one can simply challenge, why can't being a Supreme Lord simply make everyone devotees and make everyone attain the Supreme Abode? Well, we already saw this one. He doesn't want to do that because He is not a shepherd and we are not a flock of sheep. We are conscious entities. We have been given the knowledge. We are, in fact, full of knowledge. So, the Lord is trying hard to bring us back to His lotus feet. It is true that both karma is with us, our karma is with us, and the Lord is also with us. Therefore, every second He is trying to find opportunities to turn us around towards Him. And He has been doing this for millions and millions and millions of lifetime, our lifetime, with a lot of patience and tolerance, without giving up His enthusiasm. In one sense, we can say He has worked on us very hard to bring us to this stage where we are able to hear Bhagavad Gita. We are able to speak on Bhagavad Gita. We are able to develop little faith in Bhagavad Gita. We have little bhakti towards Him. When we think about Krishna in this way, our steel-like heart will certainly melt. None of us know where we came from. None of us know where we are heading to. None of us have a solid, reliable support during our journey in this life. But it is the Lord who knows where we came from. It is the Lord who knows where we are heading. And it is the Lord who is a reliable support with us during our journey, not just this lifetime, millions and millions of lifetimes. He is been traveling with us without giving up on us. He is called Karuna Nidhi, the Lord of unlimited wealth of compassion towards His fallen children. That's all of us. The Lord knows very well that it is very hard for us to understand these things, considering all the facts that we have been in this world for a long time due to our karma and vasana, which makes it hard for us to realize and understand this subject matter. Therefore, He Himself openly says that He is the doer. He is the one who does everything for us. By coming to this understanding, we will be in peace and we will find complete satisfaction and will be happy in any stages of our life at any given condition. When we know very well that it is my karma vasana which pushes me into certain modes and make me to perform certain action, we have two choices. Number one, let me allow the modes of material nature, sattva, rajas and tamas, take over me and I will become its subservient. Or we have a second option, let's not give in to our previous nature bad nature. Rather try to put new impressions, vasanas, to overcome the bad vasanas. Option 1 is pretty easy. There's nothing extra that we need to do. Things will flow by itself naturally. I am just bad because of my previous karma vasanas. Therefore, I am bad now. Let me continue being so, because I can't help it. The second option involves some effort from our side. Yes, it is true that because of my previous karma vasanas, I am like this now. I have certain bad nature, bad qualities, but I have choice to continue be like that or to make some positive changes in my life to replace or erase my bad qualities with good ones. So when we are ready to take the second option, then we have to find a shelter of a bona fide guru or a guide, spiritual guide, a saintly person who not only gives instruction but also applies in his personal life. With the guidance of such saintly people, by being submissive and humble, we can change our default program from our previous lives to overcome our bad vasanas. Therefore, option 2 certainly requires determination and consistency along with proper guidance, having faith in that guide. To conclude, it is the Lord who grants us the required resources and gives us permission and directs us to perform an action. One who does not have this understanding, one who thinks himself to be the person who has all the required resources and does things on his own ability without any help from others, such a person has no clear understanding. Rather, he got contrary knowledge about his own self. So in this verse, Krishna spoke about those people who has durmatiḥ, not having proper knowledge, who has contrary knowledge about the self. Whereas in the next sloka, 17th sloka, Krishna is going to speak about sumatiḥ, one who has proper knowledge, that is, one who has proper understanding on these 5 factors: body, senses, vital air, the self, and the supreme self. Tatraivaṁ sati kartāram ātmānaṁ kevalaṁ tu yah paśyati akṛta-buddhitvān na sa paśyati durmatiḥ. Namaste. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.